You're Miss Pooja Yadav.
Yes, sir.
Pooja, please tell us something about you.
My name is Pooja Yadav. I am from Haryana. I've done my schooling from Haryana itself, and later on I moved to Delhi for my higher education. I've done BSc Zoology Honours from Miranda House, and after that I started preparing for Civil Services examination.
You cleared your BSc examination in which year?
2016.
2016. Pooja, I'm looking at your academic qualification. You did 10 CGPA in 10th, you got 97% marks in your 12th examination. You in fact got 85% marks in BSc Honours also. This is a typical set academic record for somebody getting into academics. This is not a record which we look in the civil servants. We actually look some kind of a little delinquent kids in civil servants. Why don't you join academics? Why don't you pursue your masters?
Sir, due to poor counseling, I could not get this realization earlier that I wanted to join civil services, like many other kids in our country. So when I went to college, I realized this after seeing many seniors in my college who were preparing for civil services. So I don't think being academically good would create any problem in being a good administrator.
You're absolutely right. Does not necessarily mean that you may not be a good civil servant, but it also affects that it's very certain that you will be very good in academics. It is almost certain that you will be very good in academics, and we do need, as a nation, we do need academically bright researchers and teachers. So civil servant, we can get any BA pass candidate. And it's a journalist job. It is not really a specialist job. So don't you think academics is a better option for you?
So I don't think that decides that it is a better job for me. Rather, being good in academics gives me more confidence.
What is there in you that will be good for civil services?
So I have seen that whenever I've worked hard, I have got results. So that way I'm hardworking and committed. So if I work in this direction, I can be a good administrator as well.
Okay. What are other character attributes you have which makes you good for civil services?
So I think commitment towards the service, honesty, integrity.
Okay. You are also Inspire Scholar. What is this Inspire program? What is this Inspire Scholars? Why Inspire Scholarship is given by the country?
So this is a scholarship by Department of Science and Technology. So it is given to students to attract them towards science and technology, so that we can have a good pool for science and technology. So I got this scholarship for 3 years during the time of my graduation.
So by not pursuing your masters, you basically defeated the very purpose of Inspire Scholarship, because Inspire Scholarship is to attract young students to get into science research and practice.
Sir, I think I disagree, because we do not want everybody to actually study science, but to have a scientific temper. So that way, I have developed that temper and I can use it in other areas also. We just don't want scientists. And I can use the knowledge that I have gained in other areas.
Okay. Pooja, you studied from a college called Miranda House. This name sounds really, a name changing thing is on spray. I mean, everybody is changing name. Why your institution is carrying such a colonial name, still name? What is, if I'm right, then Miranda is some character in some literary thing. So why your institution is not changing name to something more nationalist?
Sir, I think more than name, what is the quality of education which is provided, it matters more than the name. So
that takes me to that name changing in Prayagraj and Varanasi. You'll hold the same idea about name changing there as well, or there you believe name should have been changed?
So I think name should be changed when there is some purpose which is served. So if we look from the perspective of administration, if it is not giving any advantages or any sort of benefits, then we should try to avoid name changes. And even if it is done, because sometimes we see that politicians say that it was done to please people, or it was actually people's demand. So if it is done that way, then it should be done more transparently, because if people want, there should be some sort of voting or
That's
something.
a very interesting argument you're putting forward, and I tend to agree. I believe that policy, whenever governments take policy decision, it should be backed by hard data, actual things. Do you think government actually followed this thing when economically weaker section 10% reservation was put forward? Because no hard data is given, and the kind of ceiling they are providing, almost 95, maybe 96% population come under this. Do you believe that EWS decision is a well thought decision?
Sir, I think I don't support the decision totally. Also because the limit that has been set, 8 lakhs would lead to almost 95% of the population would become eligible to get the reservation benefit. And we have seen earlier also that whenever reservation is given, it is difficult to actually take it back. So such decisions, the Mandal Commission report which was implemented, and now we see that...
Are you trying to say that the reservation for OBC was equally a bad decision?
Sir, but no sir, I mean to say that when reservation was envisaged, it was for 10 years. But we have...
Under which article of the constitution?
Sir, I don't remember the article, but initially it was for 10 years. It could have been updated, it could have been taken forward, but we have already...
Will it not be necessary for you to qualify this statement that the reservation was only for 10 years? Because honestly, I've never studied
it. So we envisaged it for 10 years, and then we could have stopped the reservation. But now we see that even if we want to take back the reservation, it would become very difficult, because now it is being associated with politics.
Thank you, Pooja.
Pooja, I can read in your DAF that assessment of water quality of public water supply area in and around Delhi.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you know what is BOD in water?
Yes, sir.
Can you define it?
So BOD stands for biological oxygen demand. So this is it is the amount of oxygen which is required by the bacteria to degrade to decompose the organic matter which is present in the water.
And what is COD?
COD is chemical oxygen demand. So BOD is only in this BOD we have the amount of oxygen which is required by the bacteria to decompose the biodegradable matter. But COD considers both. So the amount of oxygen which is required to decompose both degradable and non-biodegradable.
I mean, there are a term called problem nutrient in water. Problem nutrient in water. Are you aware of this term?
No, sir.
You know what is eutrophication?
Yes, sir.
Can you define it?
So eutrophication is the process of nutrient enrichment of water. So due to different reasons, we see that the amount of nutrients in water like nitrate or other like fluoride, etc.
There are some technique that we use in zoology or any testing methodology. Southern blot, northern blot and western blot. Can you tell me quickly that where do we use it?
So southern blotting is used in DNA fingerprinting. So when we have to find a sequence.
Northern?
Northern, it is used for sequencing proteins.
Okay. And western?
So I think western is for proteins and northern I'm not aware.
Okay. Then what is ELISA different from western?
So western is for proteins and ELISA is for, in ELISA there's a different technique. So antibodies and antigens are used.
Okay. Which of the following methodology we use in HIV testing?
ELISA.
Okay. One question I'll ask you. Normally when we talk about protozoa, then protozoa is unicellular, right? Why do we call it acellular also?
So because it cannot be divided. There are two schools in this. So when we define it as unicellular, because it is single cell which is doing all the functions, and when we look it as an acellular, then the cell cannot be divided into any more cells. So that is why the two schools justify using both uni and acellular.
Okay. Can you enumerate some flight adaptation in bird?
So the forewings in birds are modified into wings which help them in flight. The skeletal system of birds is on the basis of hollow girdle principles. So the bones are hollow, so which keeps them light in weight and it helps them in flight. also their diet is such that